The ancestral home that anchors your family's legacy is not merely a repository of inherited memories, but a living testament to the silences buried beneath generations of performative resilience. And true belonging requires not preserving the past through rigid tradition, but integrating the weight of unspoken grief until staying becomes an act of radical reclamation rather than dutiful obligation. In When You Stayed, Ashley Muñoz transforms the multi-generational women's fiction trope into profound exploration of feminine sovereignty and intergenerational healing, proving liberation isn't found in escaping lineage, it's forged in honoring the women who came before, when every cultural script demands you remain silent. This psychologically precise narrative makes every returned heirloom feel like both burden and benediction, where consent to inherit is negotiated through self-trust rather than assumed duty, and peace means protecting your voice when history demands you remain echo. From lavender and dust narration, listeners enter worlds where memory is syntax and presence is the only unbreakable vow, perfect for fans of emotionally intelligent family sagas where female complexity defies nostalgia tropes. When archivist Ilara Vance returns to Rose Ridge to catalog her grandmother's estate after decades of estrangement, she expects archival detachment, not to discover the house's hidden rooms mirror the exact suppression she's endured beneath years of performative independence. And local historian Julian Thorne's quiet refusal to treat her as outsider creates space for connection defying familial hierarchy. Navigating faded letters and buried attractions, Ilara realizes this homecoming isn't about preservation but recalibration, with Muñoz avoiding reducing Ilara to reluctant heir or Julian to romantic catalyst, instead crafting radical reciprocity within constraint, where trust is earned through honoring boundaries even as legacy blurs them. And audiobook narration amplifies this alchemy by capturing Ilara's disciplined composure fracturing into clarity and Julian's guarded intensity revealing warmth beneath vigilance, making listeners feel seismic shifts of souls learning some roots can only be claimed when you stop letting bloodlines define their validity. What elevates this beyond typical generational fare is portraying domestic intimacy as somatic practice rather than sentimental indulgence, with Ilara confronting how family culture equated worth with compliance, while Julian creates sanctuary where her contradictions exist without diminishment, their relationship evolving through shared silences during attic discoveries, bypassing performance, rhythms protecting both historical integrity and psychological safety, and mutual defense against relatives mistaking truth-telling for betrayal. Supported by townspeople encoding suppressed sorrow, elders carrying ancestral weight, and the ridge itself absorbing centuries of unspoken bargains, reinforcing that in erasure-based systems, tenderness toward memory is technique and presence is sustainable resource, with artifact restoration mirroring emotional attunement and oral histories becoming metaphors for earned trust. For audiobook listeners, this production is immersive descent into sacred continuity, with narrators embodying Ilara and Julian with remarkable distinction, sound design anchoring existential stakes through distant wind chimes, rain against Victorian eaves, and hushed breath syncing with moments of clarity, pacing mirroring genealogical cadence from deliberate reflection to surging awakenings, ultimately redefining women's fiction by centering female epistemology within ancestral frameworks and affirming that sometimes the most powerful act is choosing to stay present with the past, honoring whole self even in landscapes shaped by silence.